I mean, you couldn't ask for any more than what you asked for at a pretty aggressive free agency from the Philadelphia Eagles day one. The Giants have done absolutely nothing and looks like they're about to jump off a bridge, and the Cowboys have done absolutely nothing. The Philadelphia Eagles are not joking around this free agency, and there's way more to come, but obviously the one big move the Eagles made that nobody thought they were going to make, they did it, they made it. Let's talk about it.
Because I've seen enough horror movies to know any weirdo wearing a mask is never friendly.
Yo, what's going on, guys? I hope everyone's having a fantastic day today. So, news on the Philadelphia Eagles, the first day of free agency. A lot of things have got to be said today because we were sitting, we didn't know what the Eagles were going to do. We saw what they were interested in. We know the Eagles had more cap space. They have draft capital. We know what the Eagles had. We knew that Howie Roseman really had to redeem himself. Really coming from a lackluster free agency last season where the Eagles really didn't pick up any impact players coming from free agency. So now the number one thing on the list we got to talk about is the obvious one that we thought nothing was going to happen. We didn't think the Eagles we didn't know how much it was going to cost. You know, the reports were coming out nonstop on the morning of the first day of free agency, literally like that the Eagles were going after Saquon, that they were going to make sure that Saquon was a Philadelphia Eagle. Okay. The Giants did not match, okay, any type of number or nothing because they figured he was going to be gone. They weren't going to match much of anything, okay? And Saquon Barkley signed with the Philadelphia Eagles. It was probably the most surprising, especially at the number, which I thought was really, really crazy. I mean, $12 million a year, and the Eagles get him for that price. And, you know, Howie Roseman we already talked about Howie Roseman changing his philosophy. When it came to certain positions, he really needs to stay long-term with. Okay. And it looks like $12 million a year for Saquon, 3-year deal. And to be honest, like, I feel so happy they have an actual running back long term. I know a lot of people out there that didn't like this trade, that didn't expect it to didn't like the signing, didn't expect it to even happen. Okay. It was kind of amazing because you had DeAndre Swift that signed his deal first before anybody, okay? Not even 10 minutes. DeAndre Swift signed his deal, only getting $8 million a year. With the Chicago Bears. The Philadelphia Eagles did offer and already had a deal on the table for DeAndre Swift. And then Swift decided, per report, that he waited out. And this wasn't about what team Swift wanted to go to. He wanted to get a payday. He got an extra few million dollars, which he did. I don't know what the Eagles put on the table. It probably wasn't much. But if that's the case, because after this happened right in the beginning, I was like, well, Swift got signed within 10 minutes, the first 10 minutes after 12 o'clock when the legal tampering period began. And I was like, man, that was really fast. Like the Eagles didn't fight for him or want him. But since the season ended, the Eagles have wanted Saquon Barkley, and they got him, okay? Giant fans are in shambles right now. Tiki Barber is crying his eyes out right now. The league is starting to see now, and Saquon Barkley's not stupid because he knows the Eagles have a run game, okay? He knows how successful the Eagles running backs have been the last couple years, okay? He's seen it. He plays this team twice a year. He knows who's on this offensive line. He knows the players well, okay? To get a guy like this that's an all-around better talent than DeAndre Swift, and I think a lot of Eagle fans are really down on this signing. I mean, it's Eagle fans just can't be grateful for things. First, you're not going to, they paid him too much, or, the Eagles have extra cap space. Okay, they have to spend something. They have to do something at the running back position. You can't get away with giving guys 1-year deals at not even $1 million and a cap hit. You know what I mean? You can't do that every single year. But a guy that can block, a guy that can receive the ball, a guy that can catch the ball out of the backfield. I mean, and wouldn't it be nice for the league to see that Saquon Barkley is going to be with one of the top offensive lines around a fantastic, great offense, okay, with the amount of with the roster itself. Saquon Barkley has never been around the successful roster. I mean, good offensive line. Just to see Saquon get to the second level untouched, it will be something that I think Eagle fans are going to want to see the first day. This is going to be the top like attraction of what this offense is going to look like under Kellen Moore's system with Saquon Barkley involved in it. And you know what? I'm here for it all, and I can't wait for it. They paid a little bit of a hefty price for it. I wouldn't even say hefty. I mean, at the end of the day, it's not like the Eagles came in the free agency with $20 million and they literally were really tight with what they can do and cannot do. But to have the extra money that they had, $12 million a year, is pretty damn good. I think his base salaries are like 11 to 13, something like that. But 12 a year, I mean, is a really good price. And I feel like because you're going to use him in the passing game, because not to say he will be the focal point back. You're not going to get him, crazy. You're not going to get too many hits. He's not going to get hit so many times. And unfortunately, when you're drafted in the top 10, this is what happens. And the Giants have literally, just haven't done anything with him. I don't think he cares about the New York Giants. If he cared so much, he would stay out of the division. I don't think he cares about them. He knows the Eagles, the Eagles' run game is their bread and butter. Okay. He knows that. And that's why he's coming to the Eagles, and he knows all the players, knows not the offense, but knows a lot of the roster in general. When you play the team twice a year, that's what happens. So, man, I can't believe that this is actually happening right now. It's absolutely insane. I don't know how else to say it. I mean, it's just exciting. And I can't wait just to see this final product unveil with this offense and Kellen Moore's system and the rest of the weapons. And this is only the first day of free agency, and the Eagles picked up a running back pretty damn fast. Took a little bit throughout the day, but after Swift signed his deal, it really showed me that they really didn't feel like Swift really was valued too much to a lot of teams. I mean, he took $8 million, so I mean, that was where the price was kind of staying at. Then obviously Josh Jacobs got his deal with Green Bay, and then Saquon Barkley signed his deal with the Philadelphia Eagles, and all hell broke loose. And I'm so excited to see this whole thing go at it. So it was nice. Didn't think it was going to happen, but a lot of rumors came out this morning for it not to happen. I was like, man, if all this news is coming out, there was rumors that he was going to take less money to come to the Eagles, that he wanted to, be back home. That I mean, there was just so much going on. I was like, man, all this talk, and they weren't fake reports, or there was reports all over the place. I was like, if Saquon doesn't come here, and it was between the Houston Texans and the Philadelphia Eagles. As soon as I saw the news that the Eagles were going to pay north of $12 million, it looks like the Houston Texans were only going like $10-11 million, and that was really it. But Saquon Barkley's a Philadelphia Eagle. He's already embracing himself as an Eagle, and he probably can't wait to play the Giants twice a year. So I hope you guys are happy about it. I know there's a lot of Eagle fans that hate it, but this is my opinion. This is how I feel. And I know a lot of people were on board with this, and people are going to start liking it because they feel like they have to. So, but I've been wanting this, whether it was Swift, whether it was Barkley, I wanted this. Unfortunately, Barkley has never showed the generational talent. I mean, he has shown a lot of flash, more than flash. I mean, he has shown what he could do. Okay, and the Eagles are going to exploit that. Just to see Saquon Barkley, what he could do, and any offense besides the Giants is going to make him successful. You're going to find out what he could do, and I cannot wait to see this process and get with Jalen Hurts and the RPOs and Saquon Barkley is other than a guard and a wide receiver 3, there's no excuse not to put points on the board this year with him in the backfield. They're probably going to get one more back, probably have 3 backs with Kenneth Gainwell back there as well. So that's the news on Saquon Barkley. Was so fucking pumped. I was so excited over this. I just couldn't believe it. Just, when it actually hits you, it is totally different. It's totally different. And, get used to seeing Saquon in an Eagles jersey, because we're about to see some great things from him in a new era in Philadelphia with a running back long-term, guys, long-term running back, not a one-year rental, not a one-year deal, not just long-term. It's great to know that you're going to have a guy in the building for a few years and you don't even have to worry about it whatsoever. It's a great feeling. Oh, so awesome. So that was that with that. DeAndre Swift, wish him well going to Chicago. He deserves the contract that he definitely got. Now, before all this happened, now I mixed this up. The Saquon news is obviously the most important, but the Eagles add to their defensive line, and this made things even more interesting with Bryce Huff. Bryce Huff had a lot of suitors. The Eagles were aggressively going after him. This was all over the news the last few days, especially yesterday, and then to this morning, that the Eagles were all in. A lot of suitors for him. There was multiple teams after Bryce Huff. Even the Jets were going to try to re-sign him, and it looks like he is signed with the Philadelphia Eagles. 10 sacks last year, one of the highest rush rates the last 3 years. He's been a top 3 player, always gets pressure. Perfect for Vic Fangio's system. $17 million a year, guys. I mean, look, like, now the question is this. Does Adam Schefter, I know Ian Rappaport put up some news after Bryce Huff, signed with the Eagles now. So there's rumors now, like, because what's going on with HaasonReddick? Apparently, the Eagles are trying to trade him. The Eagles are trying to trade Josh Sweat. What is going to happen here? There's two things. Either Vic Fangio wants Bryce Huff and HaasonReddick to play on the same side with a Josh Sweat trade happening, or you're going to go and, you're going to get rid of HaasonReddick, because HaasonReddick and Bryce Huff play on the same side. So you could keep Sweat for the rest of the year, but we'll see. I don't think they're getting rid of both of these guys, but somebody is going. If nobody goes, I'll probably be more shocked. It's starting to make me feel that Josh Sweat, maybe they get a compensatory pick or something like that. He might go to another team. I'm not sure, because if you have two players that are making a lot of money that play on the same side, it kind of makes no sense. Unless they want somebody on the edge, they want somebody outside linebacker, they want to play both of these guys on the same side. So who knows? They might get rid of Sweat. They might sign a rotational guy, and they might go into the draft and get the best edge rusher. So I honestly have no idea. This one didn't confuse me. Like, when it comes to the trenches, the Eagles do this, but 25. Bryce Huff is 25 years old, turning 26 by the season starting, going into his prime, coming off a 1 year, 10. This was the highest paid non-QB undrafted free agent contract in NFL history. He was undrafted, man. Really fought his way to the top. Okay, statistics are statistics at the end of the day. If you guys remember, I think Bryce Huff destroyed Jalen Hurts on a couple plays and was very disruptive in the Jets game that we lost this past year, and did it to a lot of other teams as well. His bend is really nice. I mean, he's got great hand placement. He's aggressive. He's angry. He just pummels people to the ground. And I think this was, this one happened relatively pretty quick too. Eagles did not waste any time on getting this guy in the building. 25. I mean, shit, why not? You know what I mean? So just depending now on when we have to wait, because you're waiting on a lot of cap space from HaasonReddick, whether he gets traded or he gets extended. It's $11+ million that you can get back. So I'm wondering if they're going to keep Reddick, or they're going to, are they going to trade Reddick? Are they going to trade Sweat? It's still up in the air right now. There's no signs are pointing to something is going to happen between one of those two guys, but which one is it going to be? Leave a comment in the comment section below on that, because I think that's really important. So we ended up getting Bryce Huff, which was great, fantastic. Now, after the Eagles signed Saquon Barkley, Diana Rossini put out a tweet saying the Eagles are not done, and they were going all in. Sorry, wrong one. We'll get to that in a second. They were going all in for Xavier McKenna. All in, man. Okay, so, and it seemed like the Eagles were so close, and they just couldn't get it off at the end, okay? It looks like the Packers signed Xavier McKenna to a big contract. It was like 70-something million. I was like, what, 17 million a year? No, I'd say it was a lot. It was a lot of money. Now the rumors are the Eagles were really close, and by right at the end, the Eagles had to back out, because I guess it was just, maybe they had 15 on the table, maybe they had 14 on the table. I know that Xavier McKenna was asking for 16 to 17, and he got what he wanted. I didn't think it was going to happen. I was watching other safeties get signed, and they weren't getting signed for that amount of money. A lot lower than even 13, 12, 11 million dollars. Like some, I mean, some mid-tier safeties weren't even getting paid that much. So this was the highest contract from a safety in free agency. So the Eagles missed out on Xavier McKinney, which would have been a third really big splash for the Eagles. But we have to start thinking, what else? They're really big into the safety market, okay? And they lost. There were some, the only guys that are really left right now is Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, Justin Simmons, Trey Walker. So depending if they want to give Chauncey a chance, what that relationship looks like, and if he's willing to come back, or Justin Simmons that is still playing at an all-pro level at 30 years old, so maybe a 2-year deal, something like that. Get something on the table. Played with Vic Fangio in Denver when he was the head coach over there. So I still think there is still moves to be made at safety. There's still linebackers available. They're starting to get down a little bit now. You still have a whole entire. Just remember, guys, you still got a whole entire draft to worry about later on. You missed out on some linebackers today. Patrick Queen hasn't been touched yet, and I think possibly it's just because he wants a lot of money, and maybe a lot of teams figured that Roquan Smith has been maybe made him more successful as a counterpiece more than the main piece in Baltimore. So when it comes to safety in general, I mean, they seem like they're very aggressive. They almost signed McKinney. It was actually really close. They got beat out right at the end. So it sucks. It is what it is. But there's still a lot of available options out there, so there's still some guys out there. Like I said, Chauncey, Justin Simmons. I don't know who else, Tracy Walker, and, Eddie Jackson. So, I mean, I wouldn't go for an Eddie Jackson type signing. I'd go for obviously Chauncey or Justin Simmons, but it is said that the Eagles want 2 safeties, 2. Rumored that they want to sign 2 safeties in free agency. So they might want to fill up this safety position, this free agency, with Reed being the third, the third best safety on the roster as of right now. So we'll see how that goes. It was a big loss for the Eagles with competition when it came to money with Xavier McKinney. The Packers are loading up. The Packers and the Eagles are probably the top 2 teams that really have won the day in free agency day one, no doubt. So lost McKinney, but it is what it is. We'll see what they do in the coming days. And lastly, really the first thing that happened throughout the day was Landon Dickerson. Okay, I think it was the first thing that happened. Landon Dickerson signed his extension. The Eagles actually signed they're paying him $21 million a year. Okay, highest paid guard as of right now. I don't know if he still is, but at the time he was the highest paid guard, 21 a year. They saved $3 million in cap space with the extension, and this has to be done. Landon Dickerson, Devontae Smith's another one, and that deal is 100% going to get done. This offense is still going to be pretty much together come the year after this year. So you're looking for a Devontae Smith extension sooner or later. Hopefully they pick up the 5th-year option soon and get something done later, or they might get this all done right here, right now, and just get it done. So, it's going to be a lot of, the Devontae Smith contract's going to be a lot of money. I'm glad that Dickerson got locked up. I know that he even went on Twitter and said, I wasn't going anywhere. He's like, I was never going to go anywhere. So it was really nice for him to come back and solidifies that left side. So really all we have is that right side, that guard spot. Obviously, Tyler Steen's there. They don't really have much depth at offensive line at all, so something else they have to work on, but I'm glad they locked him up and got this stuff ready. So really happy about that extension. But other than that, guys, that's pretty much it. We talked about, obviously, Saquon Barkley becoming a Philadelphia Eagle, Bryce Huff on that edge, and what they're doing with Reddick and Sweat when it comes to trade, that one of them is going to be gone. The Eagles lose out on Xavier McKinney, but they will be testing out a lot more of the safety market. And there's guys available that are going to fill in. People, Eagle fans are giving up, they can't sign Xavier McKinney, so now the season's over and their defense is horrible. I think people need to relax. It was only 5 hours into the legal tampering period on the first day, and people were feeling like they had to make all these moves in one day. It's not going to happen. You cannot. You're going to get beat out by teams, unfortunately, and you have to be smart. You can have extra cap, but you have to be smart too. You're not the Commanders. You're not these other teams that have not set over 60, over 70, over $80 million right now. They can have close to, obviously, with with whatever happens with HaasonReddick will be a totally different story, because you'll free up 11 to 16 or more millions of dollars in cap space coming back. So, I think there's a lot to look forward to going forward. And obviously, Dickerson gets the extension, gets locked up left side of the line, is perfect for a while. So I'm glad they got that deal done. So other than that, guys, that's pretty much it. Appreciate everybody that joined the stream and just watched this. Pretty much went through the whole free agency process the first day with me. And yeah, let's see what else Howie has up his sleeve. And I gotta say, uh, he's making a name for himself this offseason to us Eagle fans. He's doing a good job. So you guys have a fantastic day. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you subscribe. And let me know what your favorite signing was from first day. And what do you think is the big loss of the first day? And do you think they should have signed somebody else? Or who else is available that you really want at a specific position on the offense or the defense? You guys let me know. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Chicks, what up? Follow slide. Peace out, guys. Peace.